No, we're not talking about worshiping animals or animation. Animism is the belief that everything possesses a spirit or a soul. And in today's video, we're going to learn about how to pray without a religion. Animism is simply this belief that varies from person to person that everything is alive. You know, that the trees, the plants, the animals, even the car you drive has a spirit or a soul, an essence, and it deserves to be respected, honored, and to give thanks to it and connect to it, ask for help or guidance or wisdom from it. And in this video, we'll talk about a very simple way to pray, you know, as all types of religious people do, but in a way that you can create it however you want. You can customize it and adapt it to what feels most resonant with you and your unique soul. Term I want to note was coined by Sir Edward Burnett Tyler in 1871. And it is definitely more of a term used in academia by scholars, and so Indigenous people themselves often don't actually use this term. Also important to note that each animist sees things in a different way. It's a viewpoint, a belief. It's not this super institutionalized, you know, set of beliefs like Christianity or other religions. And so really feel into what resonates most with you. You know, do you believe that things that are run on electricity have a spirit, like technological things? Do you feel the spirit of grass or trees or animals or humans, hopefully? So it really can depend on the person and what you truly believe. I feel like everything is alive, like almost everything. Like all of nature is 100% alive to me, and then it really depends in terms of technology. I've heard some people talk about how when you infuse your divine creative life force energy into creating something, this is what makes it come alive, so that, you know, tools or inanimate objects can also have a spirit. For me, I do feel kind of like things that have electricity or are run on fuel definitely feel alive to me. Like 100% my vehicles, Herbert and Frida, are so alive. Just look at their little smiles. Many call animism the oldest spiritual belief or the root of all religion. And to me, I simply feel it's like the innate way that we connect to the world around us. We are this beautiful web that is woven by the divine, that we are more than just these bodies and we are more than just an individual, that we are connected to all living beings here on earth and beyond. And so it is our responsibility to develop these mutual relationships with these beings. You know, they all the time are already providing for us, right? We breathe in the air from the trees, we consume all kinds of food from the land, and yet how are we giving back to them? And how are we connecting and acknowledging the power of these beautiful beings that also have a spirit, just like us humans? Discovering that this way that I see the world actually is encompassed in a term is kind of cool, so I'll go with it, but you know, you don't have to consider yourself an animist in order to resonate with this way of prayer. And this is a simple, effective starting point so that you can pray a lot. You know, you can really integrate prayer and connection to divine life force frequency, to the spirit within every single thing, into your everyday life. And at this time now in humanity, where we are at a very transitionary time, moving into the age of Aquarius, moving into this new paradigm, this new earth, it is of the most importance that we begin to reconnect to the earth and to really acknowledge and honor all the living beings that are here. We have connected to spirit since the beginning of time, and this is forgotten wisdom, knowledge, way of knowing and doing and being that has been lost over the last few hundred years of brainwashing, that, you know, it's so important we come back to. And when you look at many of the beautiful indigenous cultures that still survive today, you see that they have such strong practice of connecting to spirit, connecting to their ancestors, and really honoring all that is alive in their daily life, in their daily rituals, as well as, you know, using dance, song, movement, and really giving offerings as well to the living beings as a way of connecting and prayer. So This is just a really basic outline that will help you begin to integrate prayer into your life, but please move it more deeply into your body. Sometimes I don't follow this format, and instead I simply, will sing to the forest, or I will dance, and I will allow my ancestors to move through my body, and for this really to be, my movement to be a prayer for the land and for my descendants and the people who come after me. And this is so important because these are the ancient ways, simply, making a fire and connecting to the spirit of fire, connecting to the elements. You can begin to see spirit in every single thing, in the birds, in the clouds, in the rain. You can see spirit, in each day, like even the days of the week, there's a certain energy of each day of the week. Like once you begin to see spirit and life, you will see it everywhere and in everything. And it truly makes life more juicy, life more beautiful, life more brilliant. Perhaps you have some herbs for cleansing. You want to cleanse the energy, light some incense, maybe light a candle. Fire is a really sacred invitation, a doorway into prayer and connection. Take some deep breaths. And you don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to do the prayer hands. You can do whatever you want. I find a lot of the times I'll open my palms to receive the energy more fully. Perhaps you want to sit grounded on the earth so you can really connect to that energy, especially if you are wanting to connect to the trees or the plants or anything of the earth, but do it however you want. Maybe you feel you don't have the time to really create a sacred container and you're simply praying as you wash dishes or when you're in the shower. The shower is definitely like a sacred portal, so I'd recommend that as well. Prayer is essentially simply just a way of connecting to spirit, connecting to the divine, to God, and you can decide what exactly you want to connect to. Decide, who am I communicating with? Who do I wish to connect to? Because there are spirits of many different frequencies, realms, intentions. When I was younger and first connecting to spirituality, I would just open myself to anything, It's like playing the Ouija board and being like, oh, any spirit that's here, like, let's connect to it. And it's like a creepy demonic energy. Like, you don't want to open yourself up to that. So by really being intentional and calling forth who you want to communicate with, then you can ensure that you don't get kind of a trickster energy, something that isn't really in your best interest or has the purest intentions. And now decide on your why. Why are you coming to pray? And when we pray, we can give thanks. And I really, really implore you to really feel into your heart and just let it flow out, especially when you're giving thanks. It flows so beautifully when in the moment, I will just get these waves of gratitude, of simply just being grateful for my breath, for the fact that I'm alive, And you can start it off that way to kind of inspire your soul and inspire yourself into prayer by simply feeling into the fact that I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be gifted this spirit and this opportunity to experience life on earth at this time as this being, as this unique, beautiful being, right? And of course, prayer isn't just expressing gratitude, though it feels amazing when you do that. It's also asking for help or wanting to receive wisdom and guidance. So if you're really moving through something that you just feel like you're feeling hopeless or you don't know what direction to go, pray about it and ask Great Spirit to guide you. Ask your ancestors to send you messages, especially in the dream realm, can be really potent. And ask for wisdom, guidance, clarity, knowing. And allow yourself to open up to receive this wisdom, not just while you are in the state of prayer. For many of us, perhaps you'll receive it later on in your day through synchronicity, through the people around you, because everything has a spirit, everything is guided and connected to God. And so you will see God through others answering your prayers. It's so magical. Also allow the spaciousness to receive those answers. And if you simply hear, feel, see, know nothing, that's okay. Just allow yourself to be and just feel. And for me, I'm someone who definitely receives a lot through feeling and emotion. And so allowing any emotions to bubble up, allowing maybe you receive imagery, maybe you have a song that gets stuck in your head. Like, there's little whispers and pieces of wisdom that Spirit gives us, and it's not always obvious at first. Spirit truly communicates through the language of metaphor. And so oftentimes when we're in our mind space, that's why it's important to create, the sacred container. When we're in our mind space, it's hard for us to understand what the message is. But when you truly slip into kind of these more intuitive ways of knowing, you can begin to decipher this beautiful puzzle that is gifted to you from Spirit to really answer your prayers and guide you on your path. And then when you feel like it's done, close that container. And I like to simply say thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's just acknowledging, giving thanks again. But many Christians, they like to say amen, there's ashe, there's all sorts of different words that different religious people and spiritual people say to really close the container and really affirm, I have received, I have given, this is closing now. And that doesn't mean that God's gone now. No, Spirit is always here, always accessible, always guiding you. It is just your choice to tap into that frequency and connect and listen and receive. And so don't feel like once you close that prayer, it's all gone. Of course not. But now it's time to integrate what you received in that prayer. So prayer is not just for the religious. Prayer is something that we as humans have always known how to do. And it is our birthright and really our responsibility to pray all the time. And here's one more little tip about prayer is yes, you can simply pray within. And oftentimes it might feel like that is the safest place to pray is in your head and speaking to yourself. But it is so potent to pray out loud. Your word creates your reality. Your word is so, so powerful. And when you express gratitude, the energy of gratitude out loud, or when you ask for what you really desire or you need help with, you will really feel it more deeply and strongly. So challenge yourself to either find a really intimate, safe space where you can pray out loud, or begin to practice praying out loud wherever you are and not giving a fuck. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would love to hear in the comments how you like to pray without religion or with religion. I'm not here to hate on religion. I'm just here to say that we can all pray and we can all be spiritual, and we don't need to be attuned or be a part of a certain religion or institution in order to do so. We are connected to Spirit at all times, and it's time for us to reclaim that fact. It's time for us to come back to these ancient ways of prayer and connection to Spirit. So I would love to hear your experience with prayer, with connecting to God, Source Creator, in all different ways in the comments. And until my next video, stay blessed, and I will see you soon.